iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted in league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Nestling in the foothills of Mount Fuji, from which this circuit takes its name, Fuji Speedway, it helped burst Japan onto the international racing scene as a host of the country's first Formula One race, the epic 1976 title decider. But tonight, it plays host to the UKSR Multi-Class Championship Season 2, Round 5. Let's go. Hello and welcome along. I'm Tim Cox, going to be with you every step of the way. Tonight, 60 minutes of racing action coming up for you. But at the top of the hour, we're not too far away looking at it. We've got qualifying. GTP on track first, then followed up, of course, by LMP2, and then rounding things off even with GT3. Welcome along. Great to have you all on board. As always, love to hear from you in the chat. Oh, what's this lovely sunny evening here in the UK? Pretty similar weather situation as well going on in Japan as well right now. We'll cut across to that a little bit later on, though, in the intro. But let's get stuck into things. I mean, last week, Mosport and Canada, a massive transatlantic jaunt between these two rounds. And of course, a little bit of a lighter field. I mean, I think there was something going on. I think, oh, that's right. Yet again, England choked in the final. But having said that, still a decent grid. And maybe, many might argue, it's probably maybe a bit better thing. We had a smaller grid because, well, it was chaotic. Those of you who joined at me, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it, as always. But, I mean, wow, carnage. I mean, there was turn 2. I know everyone says about turn 1, but it's turn 2 at Mosport. It was, well, incidents aplenty. And, of course, before we'd even taken the green flag in LMP2, big incidents there as well. We're going to see more tonight? Well, I don't think so. You know, wider international race circuits, FIA Grade 1, of course, Fuji. So I don't think we're going to see so much of that tonight. But, of course, that iconic start-finish straight. It's a whopper. I see it down in turn 1. We're going to see action. We're going to see fights all the way. But let's get stuck into our matters proceedings for this evening. And, of course, have a little look. Of course, as we mentioned, Fuji tonight. Road America, Barcelona, and then the season finale at Le Mans, the home of endurance racing. That's a 90-minute race as well for you. Well, I was going to say, make sure you tune in for that. But make sure you tune in for all the other rounds because, of course, I'll be here. You know, that's the main reason why you tune in, isn't it? You know. Honestly, it's nothing to do with the great racing that we see. But let's have a little look across into championship standings and such like and get a little bit stuck into that one. Oh, we've got the wrong screen up there. Always helps if you get the right one, doesn't it, Timothy? There we go. Patrick Thompson leading the way, as you can see. Those drop weeks really starting to play effect now. Excuse the pun, obviously, in the team's names. But they've, well, after this brilliant season over, they've niched their way down. Dan Sedgley, he's in second place for Olympus, and then we've got Austin Campbell really close now with Josh Wilson. Those two have swapped around in positions for effect in GTP. Then we've got bigger gaps starting to emerge in the field as well between the drivers, where we're starting to see, you know, those gaps really starting to open up now in terms of what we're seeing in the championship. But Cullen still keeping that alive. Sam Sherwood in a lone Cadillac Pro Tag. This guy I think could be a little bit of a sleeping giant. He's got bigger and bigger and better as the rounds have gone by. Really growing into this championship. And I think he could upset one or two people potentially come the end of the season. Not necessarily the quickest, but always there or thereabouts. Let's have a little drop down now into LMP2 Pro first off. Emil Koopmans, I mean, well, what can we say about this guy? Oh, so dominant. Richard Simner up into second, sandwiched between those two effect cars. With Simon Bamber now, another driver talking about growing into this championship. Danny Hugerdorn down into fourth, and then Paul Busby, who's obviously decided, sadly no longer going to be with us for the rest of the season after winning the season opener at Portimao. Feels like an absolute eternity ago, that one. John Williams, a newcomer, the privateer, so he's only going to climb upwards as the season proceeds. Let's have a little move down into Pro-Am. Well, this has been Nathan Willoughby class, hasn't it? And needless to say, he leads the way in there. I tell you, practice ongoing right now. We're back to usual proceedings. He's right at the front there. James Acklam and Jack Barker, the two privateers, right behind them. Then it's a trio of DCW drivers in the form of Jason Foreman, Pollock, and Collicott. Pollock, Collicott, and Marone. Slightly less moves there. Real big gaps starting to emerge in that category. Down into GT3 Pro, and Tiki Simsport have really dominated this one, whereas Effects have seemed to have taken a stranglehold on those prototype categories. GT3 has been certainly GT3 Pro has been all about Tiki Simsport, and it's unsurprising that we've got Ryan Davis leading the way there. They've all really taken advantage of that reduced field side last week. As I said, those gap weeks starting to really take shape now on some of our drivers as we head into the business end of the season. Second half of the season kick-starting tonight here in Japan. Martin Tilling, fourth for Tiki, behind Kevin Daniels. was Kevin Daniel for most of the season, but there we go. But yeah, bigger gaps starting to emerge. Tunstead, McCurrick, Taylor, Brockner, Jones, Weston, Afonso, and Cruz rounding out that one. Now let's have a little head down into Pro-Am. And, well, our top two for so many of the races so far this season. And these are the top two in the championship. Ruben Bearings for DCW. Really flying the flag there really strongly in Pro-Am. But it's Mr. Consistency, Sean Cranley-Swash for Anstey Sports in the Mustang that's, well, hanging on in there. I think it's going to be a bit disappointment from Daytona. That was one round that, you know, obviously had to retire the car. Unlucky. Well, I say retire the car, but had to tow to the pits, which essentially ended his consistent run of second place finishes. Lever, he's into third for UKSR with his teammate James Conley, not too far behind him. Conley just dropping down ever so slightly there. Guy Kalau moving up. He's up into fifth now with Murray, Windsor, Robson, Sharples and Davis rounding out your top 10 in GT3 Pro-Am across into the team's championships. There we go. Effect, needless to say, leading the way there is the Carbon sub-team within that brand that's top of the pile. DCW Blue, though, thanks to those really strong results that they're having over, well, say, down in GT3, that's why they're up into second. Again, same with UKSR as well. We've seen it in, you know, third and fourth in GT3 Pro-Am. And that's why they're up into third. Then we've got the two sister Effect teams of Club Sport and the main Effect Simulations team in fourth and fifth. Olympus down into sixth. I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed by that one, considering, you know, how you've got Sedley up in second. But I think that's really sort of propping up a lot of the team right now. I think a lot of work to do for the Olympus outfit for the season going forward. DCW, ProTech, and then the two Tiki teams, which, I mean, yes, okay, we've got someone, you know, one of them leading GT3 Pro, but again, a little bit of a false reading in some ways, hence why they are not as high up as probably what you would expect them to be. And now it's time to have a little look at the weather. And as always, the flashy graphics. Menmo saying in the chat in YouTube. There we go, you see a lovely, lovely day. Mount Fuji in the background there. Lovely. Beautiful, picturesque, scenic. Love it, absolutely love it. So it's going to be a hot one with the green track. Yeah, with a green track. I said with the green track. My monitor's with the comments on just sort of down there. So you, that's me slightly skewing my face and misreading that one. But yeah, I mean, Japan this time of year, and yet to see rain this season. I mean, are we going to see it? You never quite know, really, do you? Yeah. We thought we were going to get it at Mosport last week, having been wet for, you know, the entirety of the officials that week. And, you know, coming into practice, there were storm clouds looming, looking out over the circuit, but they just passed on by, and it caught a lot of drivers off guard. You know, people expecting the wet race, had done no dry practice, a lot of them didn't even have a dry setup. But you had to be there to experience it, which a few of them were, and quite a few weren't. But again, you know, you've got to be in it to win it, and I think that's going to be that could prove to be a pivotal point in the championship for quite a few places. So many drivers missing that one, but I tell you, we should get a little bit stuck into proceedings for today and head across there. Ooh, we've missed off. There we go. As you see, at top of the hour, which is just about clicking over into qualifying. 30 minutes of qualifying for half past the hour. 8:30 UK time. Thank you very much. Slow motion broadcasting there on YouTube. What a beautiful man. It's all lies. I just want to see more of you, Tim. Ooh la la. It's, you can tell that they're completely and utterly lying through the skin of their teeth. Yes, qualifying coming up for you now. GTP action out on track. Who's going to take it? Of course, everyone out on track for 10 minutes of qualifying for that category. And who will take it? Now, this is one driver who's faring well in practice. Joshua Wilson of Effect could be one to watch out for. Ever the professional. You try and, you know, multitask, you read the comments, and then someone puts there something funny to try and trip you up. And they do, and you start chuckling to yourself. Never mind. Never mind. Yes, shorter circuit with us tonight as well. You know, we're gonna a few laps in, not as many as we had last week at Motorsports, but still gonna get a few in here, I think, undoubtedly. Let us know who you're supporting over on YouTube and Twitch. Great to have you all on board as always as we get stuck into this first qualifying session of the evening. Interestingly, Wilson there just still trying to generate a bit of weaving there, just trying to generate a bit of warmth in those tyres. And will he be the one to take things here? We shall see. We shall see. We're going to get some best times on the board with us very shortly after this lap, and we'll get to see exactly where we're at. Tonight, we've got, obviously, you can see Wilson, Ben Cullen as well, and Damien Labette, and also Austin Campbell as well from Effect. We've got the Porsche of Ryan Moles of ProTech. Likewise, Cy Anthony in the Porsche, and because it's got to be done. Sam Sherwood, there it is. That rumbling, grumbling V8 of Caddy is with us. It's with us. Sam Sherwood on. Sorry, yes. Sorry, no, no. Apologies. Get there in the end. Austin William Campbell setting the initial pace there. Much more easier for this circuit to keep hold of. Only 3 sectors. iRacing loves to liberally splash in its sectors. It's an absolute nightmare when it comes to qualifying on the Nordschleife. 18 odd sectors there. I've got an ultra-wide monitor. It's still struggling to fit them all on, but it's going to be Austin William Campbell that's going to give us the first standings of the day. It's going to head to the top of the timing sheet, surely. There we go. That's the time to be, 1:24.11. Wilson a second off the pace there. Disappointing from him on that one. There is Cy Anthony about to come across the line. We're going to see from him. Time on the ball. Campbell going faster again in Sector 1. That is a car definitely to watch out for. The Acura Effect really looking up tonight, looking racy. Clearly out for a good lap here yet again, not content. Anthony goes up into second place. A great lap from the UKSR Porsche driver. But again, look at this. Purple, Sector 1. Purple, Sector 2. That's Sector 2 time as well. I mean, a tenth faster than Anthony, but also Sector 1. I mean, he's picked up another tenth. That's against the closest drivers to him. Ben Cullen about to come across the line as well with his time. Just sticking with Campbell, who's charging down towards the start-finish straight. Cullen goes into 6th place. Just whacked my desk with excitement. Labette, new fastest Sector 2, but Campbell extends his lead up the front there. So we headed back to Labette. No improvement in Sector 1, and bit of a weak one there. He's dropped at around about 2.5 tenths to Campbell in that first sector alone. Moles as well. That's going to be an improvement from him. Porsche looking strong here today. 2nd and 3rd right now. It's ProTech and UTSR respectively for Moles and Anthony. Labette's got to be surely disrupting that one. Yeah, displaces Anthony, but Ryan Moles for ProTech still holding on to that 2nd place at the moment. Cullen, everyone's struggling with that first sector on this 2nd lap with the exception of Campbell, who really extended things there. Okay, folks, here we go. What have you got, Ben Cullen? It's the personal best in that 2nd sector. Cy Anthony going faster in the 1st sector as well right now. 1 sector left to go. In fact, just the start-finish straight for Cullen to cross the line. Has he done enough in that final sector? Well, no, he hasn't, although it's an improvement in time. Well, Effect's looking a little bit down and out at the moment, out of sorts in qualifying. Definitely a lot of work to be done from them. Patrick Thompson just on his outlap. only of the GTP so far yet to set a time. Get there's no improvement in that middle sector from Cy Anthony. Oh, yes, he's not on an out lap either. What's it going to be as he heads down towards the line? You hear that caddy in the background there. There's no two ways about it. I'm not recognizing which car that is. And well, Anthony, in the end, 6 seconds slower, trying to build it up into the second lap. Clearly going to go stronger in the Porsche, at least that's how he believes. But this is a driver to watch right now. It's Patrick Thompson. He's just coming round the back of the circuit. Last couple of corners for him. Through Nets and then Panasonic. A little bit of a drift on corner exit there in that Acura. The Apex Racing Academy car. What's it going to be on this lap? Surely for him, it's got to be a brand new pole sitter. If we've learnt anything so far this season about this driver, it's like a bit of a class of his own. Didn't have the best season opener at Portimao, but it's just grown stronger and stronger as he's increased the stranglehold. Anthony going personal best. Green second sector. Sam Sherwood for ProTech. And that caddy going faster in sector 1. But both of them having no improvement. Anthony in sector 1. Sherwood sector 2. Those yellow markers denoting that one. So a slow first sector for Thompson. Sector 2 strong though. Not quite the fastest we've seen so far from anyone. And oh, a big twitch there on corner exit. As he heads out of Dunlop. Turn 10. And then through into 13, 14, 15 and then Panasonic. There's a half decent middle sector. It's not the best though. It's definitely no way the best. Here we go. What's it going to be for the Dane? As we head down towards the start-finish line. I don't think this is going to be a pulse lap by any stretch of the imagination. No, and wow, disappointing by his own standard. Goodbye, and fellow Scandinavian driver Josh Wilson. An all Scandinavian row 3 as things stand at the moment. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds left, so Thompson is going to get another lap in here. Lebet, good first sector from him. He's gone, well, as I say that, he's gone personal best in sector 1, but guess who's just gone fastest of anyone in sector 1? It's Thompson for Apex Racing Academy. Is he going to do this at the depth for him? Lebet on a flyer though. Fastest of anyone in sector 2 for Effect Simulations Club Sport. The 666 Acura. So it's going to see yet again another all Acura front row. What's it going to be? Thompson only goes yellow, sorry, goes green in sector 2. Not what he would have hoped for in that 29 Acura. But what's Lebet got? It's no improvement in the final sector. And well, it's an improvement in time, but he just remains there. Sherwood's had a good first sector. Let's stick with Thompson though. What's it going to be from the Dane? What's he got in that final sector? Is it enough? He's had a strong middle sector though. But it's only good enough for green. And it moves him up, but not where he would want to be. He moves up onto row 2. And right now, Ryan Moles, the first time we're not going to have a lockout for Acura on the front row. And the first time we're going to see ProTech Motorsports on the front row as well this season. Magmo saying T1 will be horrible with no rubber. It's looking that way. It's looking that way, and after looking like we're done as well. There's Cullen looking like he's on his in lap. So right now it's going to be all about this category. LMP2. Who's going to take this one? The drivers head out onto the track. Nathan Willoughby was fastest in practice. So if you're a betting person, could be a good shout, and it could be the first time we've seen a Pro-Am driver on pole as well this season. So Austin William Campbell for effect, and Acura on the front row. So the DCW LMP2 of Pollock, the 21. So drivers keep an eye on. Will this be another one? The Effect Simulations Club Sport car of Emil Koopmans. Definitely another one to look out for as well. The 7 of James Acklam in that iconic sort of bronze blue and grey camo come targets. I don't even know quite how to describe it really. It's more of a Target style livery, isn't it? The back fin of the car onto the engine cover. Another driver you cannot forget for DCW is going to be Richard Simner as well. He's heading down into turn 1 here. So first driver across the line is going to be Jack Barker there, the privateer. Oh, he's going to be the first across the line. He will not be the first to set a time, because that is definitely going to be a lap time deleted for him, running very, very wide as he came out of the hairpin and through 7. That was. All eyes look back to Pollock for DCW in the 21. Looking a little bit sliding. Definitely looking green and lack of grip out there. Let's see from him. So of everyone so far, best middle sector is looking to me like it's gonna be, Connor Craven of Olympus. He's the one to watch out for right now, and he's going to be the second one on the cross line. Just see him in the background there. Jack Barker goes top, so it wasn't deleted for him. Pollock goes second. So we'll look down the start finish straight away. Craven goes second. Koopman's starting to come across the line now. He goes into provisional pole fight. Look at that, nearly 4/10 of a second between him and, wow, what was Barker? James Acklam, one I said to watch out for, slapping it in there. Nathan Willoughby only good enough for what? 6th there. And LMP2 behind Craven, Barker, and Acklam, who are fellow Pro-Am drivers who incidentally lie 2nd, 3rd and 4th right now in LMP2. Barker improving though. This is a really promising lap. Green in sectors 1 and 2. Incidentally, he's gone fastest of anyone in LMP2 in sector 2. So this could be a strong lap here. I'm just doing a bit of quick maths as well. Not the strongest of anyone in Sector 1, though. He's dropped a couple of attempts there, so is it going to be enough to move him up? I'm not too sure. Certainly, I think it's going to be enough to close the gap to Acklam, where he's gained, well, they're looking like they're on even laps currently. Well, no, he misses out by 1/2 tenth to Acklam, who's right now just heading through Panasonic, with him on a similar time to Acklam. So all a lot comes down to this final sector. Simner on a good lap as well. Hugendorn as well. Simner's surely going to improve up with this one. Bamber yet to set time. Simner only up into 6th. But look at how tight it is right now. With what, Willoughby. Look at that, 13 thousandths of a second between himself and John Williams, the privateer. There he is. Hugendorn on a really good lap, but it moves him up, but it only moves him up into 3rd, and that just really showcases what a quality lap that was. As Bamber across the line for his final lap, and well, no messing around. Simon Bamber, welcome to the party and welcome to row 2 provisionally for Effect Simulations Carbon. Really breaking up that Pro-Am party that was starting to form at the front of the LMP2 grid. I tell you what, I'm getting excited. I'm starting to feel hot already. We've still got an hour of racing, of drama, excitement still to come. This is only qualifying. What's that going to be like? Could be a spicy affair. Could be a spicy affair indeed. A lot of people on out laps going again. But look at the slim margins between Acklam and Hugendorn, just under a tenth. Bamber and Hugendorn, a quarter of a tenth. Half a tenth between Bamber and Barker. And in fact, right now, just looking at it, I'll tell you what, let's make my eyes easier. So if you exclude the gap between Koopmans and Acklam, which is, well, a big old margin right now. In fact, there is James Acklam heading on his outlap, getting up to speed. There is 3 tenths between Acklam, currently second in LMP2. And, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be generous and we'll throw John Williams. There's Bamber goes fastest of anyone in second lap. It caught me off guard, that one. He came out late in qualifying and he is not messing around today. He's here to play. Went up into third on his first flying lap, and the second goes faster, goes to pole for him. Someone who struggled a little bit in qualifying. Not today for the Brit. As well, I was just saying, between Acklam and Williams, 3 tenths is all that separates that little gaggle of, what, 6 cars? An average of half a tenth between each of them. That is incredibly tight, and that is incredibly aggressive from Koopmans. The clatter on the curb this time. He's pushing hard now, right now. He knows all he's going to make up to take away that provisional pole from Bamber. As Simner, great improvement from him, but move up into third, second row right now. But yeah, Koopmans knows he only needs to find a quarter of a tenth. Willoughby, massive improvement, goes from last in category up into second. But what's it going to be for Emil Koopmans? It's going to be nothing on this lap. Look at that, no improvement in sectors 1 and 2. Maybe pushing that bit too hard. Unless he's pulled out a mammoth final sector. No, he hasn't, although it is quicker than Bamber's, but it is not quick enough to improve on his overall lap time. He goes 4 thousandths of a second slower than his previous best. As Hugendorn, well, right now, look at that. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. The front 2 rows locked out by effect. It's Carbon, Club Sport on Carbon. Right now at the front of the junior prototype category. So we've got Willoughby is on an improving lap yet again. So looking at his first attempt, it's really, sorry, first sector, really strong from him. Strong second sector as well. This could really shut the gap and really catapult him up the standings. I think we could see a Pro-Am driver back on the front row here. Hugendorn, great first sector from him. But what's it going to be from Willoughby in that 88? So he runs towards the line. And surely now this is going to be incoming, but it's not fit. No, it all falls apart in the final sector. It's an improvement in time, though. And look, he's really slashed down that gap between himself and Hugendorn. Although Hugendorn's on a great lap here. He's gone much faster than Willoughby did in the second sector. It was equal with Willoughby in the first sector. As Koopmans now goes to pole ahead of Bamber. But remember, Bamber came out late. He's out of sync with everyone. That track is rubbering up more and more. We've got 10 seconds left in qualifying. This is going to be it for so many of our drivers. Hugendorn across the line. It's an improvement in time, but this is surely going to be the drum of the drivers to watch, or is it? But there's no improvement in sector 2. There's none in the final sector, but it's still going to be okay. But Acklam does it at the line as well, as he's pulled to one side. As we're just getting the, there we go, GT3 heading to the track, still on laps. Connor Craven and Jack Barker. Craven heads in. What about Barker? He's running to the line, and he's got improvements in sectors 1 and sector 2 and sector 3. As we wait for it to update, and it displaces Simner, and it goes from bad to worse for Simner for today. The DCW driver, 4th of the pro drivers, and well down in LMP2 from where he would want to be. But now it's the time of GT3 heading to the track. Actually, the Peters over in the YouTube chat, go DCW. Well, it didn't go so well in LMP2. Hoping for a bit of a rival here today. Likes of this one, the drivers definitely be looking for a win today in the Lamborghini. That's Ruben Bearings in the 91. So, is this going to be the same as what we've experienced so far this season? It's an effect pole in GTP and an effect pole in LMP2. Cool, I'll get my words out in a minute. Are we going to see a Tiki Sim Sport pole in GT3? Not far away from finding out at all. Not far away. So, pole time in GTP, a 1:24 dead for Austin William Carroll. Emil Koopman's a 1:26.63. So, drivers heading out, starting their first laps. And plenty of Corvettes with us today as well. Brand running strong. Just the one forward. Interesting, it's Dan Sedgley not setting a time in GTP, so he will start from the back for Olympus. And in fact, he's going to be the lone Olympus runner in GTP as well. Yes, let's have a little look. We haven't really taken in this great circuit. Let's take it in here with Andy Jones, DCW. Turn that down a bit. It's glorious it is. Through turn one. Almost reminiscent of the Nürburgring there, where it just drops away from you a little bit before you head up towards Coca-Cola turn 3. Getting to the right-hand side as much as possible, onto the brakes, catching that on the inside, but not quite that much. And that's the curse of the commentator for you folks. That is the curse. It's alive and well. It's alive and well. Our first driver across the line will be Kevin Daniels of DDK by Eagle Speed Academy. Well, sorry, she's paid that. It's Ryan Davies of Tiki Sim Sport. Porsche on pole. Porsche second at the moment, but it's only 2 times set so far. So there goes the Ferrari. I'd not say zing anymore. It's a much more just drone now from the Ferrari. Sad to see Sharples continuing that Porsche domination here. Robson into 4th. There's Edmondson for effect in there as well. We've gone across the going across the line. James Conley, another one to keep half an eye out for UKSR. He goes 6th right now. 5 pro drivers. The rest of the GT3 field being made up of pro-ams right now. This will be one driver hoping for a solid result here today in the lone Mustang. It's Sean Cranley Swash. There's a bit of a change around there. Yeah, Alan Lever for UKSR, hence up onto the 2nd row. And that's... Ooh, is that a time deleted? Yes, it is for Cranley Swash. He will have to go again. Time is running out. We are nearly halfway through. DDK Racing, good evening to yourself as well. Great to have you all on board with us this evening. Both on YouTube and Twitch, as always. Of course, don't forget to the usual jazz. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow. That's what you do on Twitch. I had to think about that for a minute there. A great, good lap from Ruben Bearings right now, evolving in the Lamborghini. Personal best is sector 1. Quite a few drivers on personal best. Matt Edmondson, Carl McGurrick on them too. What's going to be for Bearings? Well, there you go. Moves up onto the 2nd row, and he's the top of the Pro-Am qualifiers. Goes in front of Sharples. Edmondson was on... Oh, that's abandoned. McGurrick. Oh, that's disappointing for him. He goes 8th. And well behind his fellow pro drivers as well. So not setting times so far. So Tunstead, Murray, and Davis all not taking to the track at the moment. Sharples, Cranley, Swash, improvement from him in the air. So he goes sick. Third row of the grid for him. Next to this guy, Darren Sharples of Old Dudes in Cars. Andy Jones looks like he's on an absolute flyer for DCW. First time got deleted for him. Remember, we saw him with that spin. So he heads out of Panasonic. What's it going to be from him? Sector 1. Not the best, but strong. Sector 2, fastest of anyone so far. What's Sector 3? What have you got up in store for us, Jones? Let's find out. Down towards the line we go, and it's good enough for third for him. A great lap for DCW. Continuing that top 3 for Porsche right now, but it's the 2 Lamborghinis just behind them, and Bearings and Leather. They're going to have to be worried about racing conditions. Who else we've got on good laps right now? I'm just trying to have a little bit of a look through things for you right now. McGurrick on a good one. Improvements all round. And the pro driver's really going to be hoping to move up here. And yes, he does. He goes 6th. Still has this 2 Pro-Ams with Bearings and Leather in front of him. But he will go on to the 3rd row of the grid as things stand at the moment in the Corvette. One of 6 Corvettes we've got with us tonight. We love an underdog story. What could this Ford do? The best sounding of the GT3s. Andy Jones is on a great lap as well. Cranley Swash remains 9th at the moment, but Jones is dialed in. There's laser focus from him. So he heads through nets up towards Panasonic. Launching it out. Clock running down. He's got another time to squeeze another lap in here as we've got 2 minutes remaining qualifying. Winding it up out the final corner. He would have been desperate to have a slipstream from someone, but it's not going to come. Getting a distant tow to one of the Tiki cars, but that pulls off into pit road. That is Anstis. And Jones goes 2nd for DCW. A brilliant improvement from the Porsche driver. Rob Windsor, there you are, Rob Windsor, someone you haven't mentioned for Team Potato. He's got fellow teammate in front of him, Kevin? Toby? No, Nathan Anstis. Toby Anstis, well, that's a name from back in the day. I don't know where that one came from, but what's it? Windsor. Improvement in time, and he goes ahead of his teammate, Nathan Anstis. Gets the 812 up into 8th position. Casper Tunstead. Well, this is a roll of the dice going out late in qualifying. I'm not sure whether he's getting a good old tow from the Tiki Simsport Ferrari in front of him. They maybe held up a little bit into turn 1, a bit more than what he would have hoped for. That's for certain as we look down from the drone right now. It's going to tow him most of the way around the lap, though. This is going to be a one and done from the Dane. All or nothing. As McGregor has also joined the session from GTP himself, and Sedgley, of course, not setting times. Latecomers to qualifying, missing their slots, so they will start from the back of GTP. Davis and Murray not setting times, and they will not set times in GT3. In towards Dunlop corner for Tunstead. Peak Sim Racing driver. Well, I mean, is this tow going to have helped him that he's had? That is the 99 of Dave Robson ahead of him. Trying to open up the corner. Daniel's on an improving lap as well for DDK. The Benelux driver currently 3rd, but this is where it's going to really help the Porsche. What's Casper Tunstead got? There's no time on the board. The checker flag's out. This is it. Whatever he sets now is his qualifying time as he cuts the timing beam. What's it going to be? And it's only good enough for 12th in category. And Daniel's improved in time late on, but no improvement from him. Wow. And we're done. We're done, folks. There is the picturesque scenery of Mount Fuji. Those clouds looking a little bit grey, but there's no rain with us this evening, luckily. Deep breath. Get ready. We've got 60 minutes of racing coming up for you. And what is your predictions? That wasn't the best of English, but we're rolling with it. What are your predictions? That's much better. We're going to see an effect win again in both the prototype categories. Is it going to be another Tiki Sim Sports win down in GT3? It's looking that way. Can Ruben Berries continue? Well, his lead at the top of GT3 Pro-Am. He starts, well, the top qualifier. And he's got quite a few cars between himself. We'll cover that when it comes to grids between himself and the Anstey Sports Mustang of Sean Cranley Swash. Some 6 cars between them. Only 2 in category even. But there in the end. With Cranley Swash 4th of the Pro-Am qualifiers, but he's starting to shift around a little bit now, not far away. There we go. Screen flashes around. We transition across into the race. Oh, we've got a short pace lap this evening, folks. We've got a short one, so let's get through this grid. GTP, Austin William Campbell on pole. Ryan Moles for ProTech, what a qualifying lap for him. And great to have a Porsche on the front row in the top category. Labette and Thompson make up row 2, while it's Cy Anthony continuing that strong Porsche performance we've got here today, next to Josh Wilson. Sam Sherwin and Lone Caddy starts next to affects Ben Cullen on row 4, while row 5 and your field for GTP rounded out by Dan Sedgley and Aaron McGregor. Emil Koopman starts from the front there, and well, actually, yeah, of course, this is why I don't do this last way, because it messes it. Try to there we go. We need to back this up a little bit. There we go. Emil Koopman's on the front row with Simon Bamber in LMP2. Acklam and Hugendorn make up that second row of the grid, while Nathan Willoughby and Jack Barker, the 2 Pro-Am drivers there on row 4 in that, row 3 in LMP2. Simner disappointed by that one. He starts next to Connor Craven of Olympus on row 4 in LMP2, while John Williams and Alistair Pollock run at the top 20 overall and the 5th row in LMP2. Having a look down now into GD3, amalgamating GTD and GT3 there pretty much. We've got, we'll get through this a bit quicker because it's starting to grid up more and more. Ryan Davis and Andy Jones on the front row. Well, Kevin Daniels and Ruben Behrens make up row 2. Row 3 is Alan Lever and Carl McGurrick. Martin Tilling and Darren Sharples on row 4. Row 5 sees Sean Cranley Swash there, well down compared to Bearings. He starts next to James Conley of UKSR in the Ferrari. Next up, Dave Robson and Casper Tunstead. Of course, Tunstead only getting that 1 lap in. Matt Edmondson of Effect. Next to Rob Windsor. And then we've got that round out the grid. Anstis and Davis with Alistair Murray completing the grid. Cy Anthony is not taken to the grid, though, I can tell you. So that does play into things a little bit. He's going to start from the pit. Is that going to be a wise one? There's LMP2 just getting away now. You can see GC3 in the background there, just waiting for their turn to move away. Porsche 911 safety car just heading up through into the last few corners, up into nets. And Panasonic now. That's going to pull in very, very shortly. Are you ready for this one? I am. It's a long, long wait begins. Porsche 911 safety car will pull in very shortly. As we wait. You see the LMP2s coming around Panasonic in the background there. Safety car is in. Let's get ready to go racing from Fuji International Speedway here in Japan. It's round 5 of UKSR multi-class, and look at the Porsche Ryan Moles. It did not get away as we're green. We go here down in GCP, down towards turn 1. As we look down from the drain, Thompson on the attack there. As we head through turn 1 the outside, just one of the effect cars. That's Josh Wilson just getting elbowed out there. But let's have a look down into LMP2. There it's turn 1. That's James Acklam off in the background. After that great qualifying, he's going to drop down through the field. Now it's, well, look at them. 3, 4, 5 abreast right now. And there's surely going to be a contact there. That is the UKSR Ferrari of James Conley going very slow towards the apex. But he's only dropped 1 place. And amazingly, well, I'd say they've made it away safely, but look at this. That's Ryan Moles, and he is well down. He's dropped through the order. Big start, big drama here, as always, as we get away. But it's as close as you like. So we look back up towards GCP. They're nearly completing their first lap of the evening. Thompson just looking for the attack. Campbell already pulling out. 1.1 second gap on this opening lap, but what's going to be from Thompson? Labette trying to break the slipstream, but he needs it from his teammate as well. It's tough. It almost feels a little bit torturous. As we head down towards turn 1, you can see Wilson just trying to pull out on the Protect Caddy. That's had a great start. That's at 3 places. Sedgley up 3 as well. It's all a bit of a chop and a change right now. Let's have a little look down towards LMP2. They're getting round in their lap. It's getting a little bit closer. Acklam is going to have a long, long evening. 60 minutes of racing, but, well, look at that. That's a long hill for him to climb. As the ticker will sort itself out very, very shortly, I'm sure indeed. There's Acklam having a little look on the inside there. This could be the move here against Craven in that Olympus car, but no. Oh, big clatter of the curb, and Acklam unsighted there. The privateer just running wide. Pollock a little bit undisturbed in the background. Meanwhile, he's got that Protec of Moles having started on the front row. It's gutting, it's devastating from him. That's why he's got to try and clear these LMP2s, and that is going to be a real tough chore to try and do. It's not like the good old LMP1 days where there was that big speed differential. And there it goes. Moles just picking his way through now. Flashing the lights down. Off on by past Acklam. He'll slot in behind the Olympus car. As always, hotting up here as there goes Thompson up the inside. Labette fighting back hard as they bang wheels yet again. That's the second time in 2 corners. They're still side by side. The effect club ball, and he's off, he's gone, and that's going to be into the wall, and that is a big shot, and it's big damage for Labette from second to the pits for him, surely. Yeah, he's headed straight to the pits. That is not good for him. Well, still big drama happening in GTP. Just having a little look down through the field. What have we got going on? A bit of a battle. Sharples getting ever so close right now for the old dudes in cars to that UKSR Lamborghini just ahead. The 657 of piloted by Lever got there in the end, didn't we? Thomas Cope in the chat, where aren't you driving? Shocking. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Let's go Olympus, he says. Well, it's going to need quite a bit from them. Having said that, Sedgley is running 6th right now. And also Craven, who's running 16th overall. Also on the podium in Pro-Am at the moment. But sticking with this battle, because it feels like Sharples is really starting to turn up the pressure. And this is all over second in LMP2 Pro-Am at the moment. The 777 Porsche of Sharples. down this start-finish straightaway is surely going to close this one up. Is surely going to make a pass. They've really got away from the Anstey Mustang behind them. What a view. What a view. No. Sits behind again for another lap. Meanwhile, Campbell has really opened up that gap at the head of GTP. 4.2 seconds already. Already on lap 4. That's an average of 1 second per lap. That is absolutely astounding from him. And Labette looking like it's going to be our first retirement of the day. Still stuck in the pit road is that car. This just feels like when, not if, this is going to happen. For our leader. So right now, sorry, for our third place car, because Sharple's still on the tail. Talking of on the tails, though, we've got a bit of a grouping going on, a bit of a battle right now here in LMP2, as this is, well, Moles just heading through for ProTech. Is that? Oh no, that is the effect car of Damien Labette trying to cut his way through this LMP2 traffic, having to be really aggressive to make his way on by. Now, they're so... Yes, it is Damien Labette, isn't it? So that is a lap down as well. Sibner not making it easy and want to try and use him as a bit of a slipstream to try and haul him up onto the back end of Willoughby, who is ahead in LMP2. We head to the drone. It's looking down. There comes the ProTech Porsche. Just moving on by. It's another car picked off for Ryan Moles after a disaster on the opening lap. So let's have a little look back to the opening lap and see exactly how this all unfolded for Ryan Moles. And was there a bit of a push? No, it was all by himself. He lost it. And then left pointing at the wall. Had to get into reverse. And with LMP2 not too far behind, well, it took him a while to get going, and he got caught up in that field. So we've got an overtake brewing here, and it's a big defensive move. Squeezed to the inside from the Mustang. Well, Ford versus Ferrari here in Japan. It's alive and well. Robson, is he going to get the move done? Wow, that Mustang is really holding on. It's trying to fight it off, but meanwhile, look at this. It's the GTPs heading on through. And we're going to see a few of the drivers now. It's right on board with the caddy of ProTech. Sam Sherwood on board, squeezing around the outside. Cranley Swash, I tell you what, he's giving it absolutely everything. He's trying to use it as a bit of a pick as well, squeezing on the inside. That's Ben Cullen, and that affect Carbon Acura. Well, that's just scattered them a bit, but I tell you what, I think Cranley Swash is, no, he's not quite pulled it off, and in fact has put a gap on them. It's not what he would have hoped for in this situation. Wanted to use them to close up. But it's alive and well, isn't it? It is alive and well. Our leader still got some traffic to clear, though. Ryan, no, apologies. He has now cleared the whole of the GT3 traffic. It's just down in the midfield. They're still trying to pick him off. That's Cullen heading by the UKSR Lamborghini of leather. You can really appreciate the speed difference. Cullen leaving as late as possible to pull out of his lane. Slots back in. Into turn 1 we go for him. As that is Ruben Behrings are just going past there in the Lamborghini. And it's getting really, really close here because look at Sam Sherwood. He is right on the cusp of being on the podium. That Effect Acura that is ahead of him that's just getting away. That is Josh Wilson. The Swede just only 3/4 of a second ahead of Sherwood. And Sherwood's really got the bit between his teeth right now. Trying to shut down that gap. And close it up. There's LMP2 right now there. It's their turn to pick their way through GTD. And oh, this could be a lovely little move from Willoughby as he tries to find a way past Simner. Trying to do it the hard way. Trying to carry the momentum all the way round the outside. Look down from the drone. You can see there just trying to hook it on through. Luckily, Simner just held it by. That's the Effect Chevrolet. Matt Edmondson in that car. Wow. Well, it's most of their bunch of traffic. That is Cranley Swasher just about to come up on that Anstey car that's now right onto the back. Look at this. And this is going to be a repeat performance of what we saw down the start finish straight. Only a couple of laps to go where he squeezed that Ferrari right to the wall of Dave Robson. Not so much this time, but the LMP2 squirming on the brakes is Simner. And Willoughby unable to follow through quite how he would have wanted there. And that's just going to allow to open up this gap. But right now, the Anstey Mustang is still on the attack, still trying to find a way past. Can't quite find it. Robson has got this one covered off. Oh, is that Tunstead off? Tunstead's off. He's had a big moment there somehow. He's going to drop a few places and then squeezes on the inside. That's John Williams in the privateer Pro-Am LMP2. And let's have a little look at what happened. And oh, we got tagged by one of the Effect cars in LMP2, I believe. And now, talking of Effect, that's Matt Edmondson up onto the back of Tunstead. And is that carrying any damage, that Peak Sim Racing Porsche? Looking okay at the moment. Or is it? Or is it? That's the big question. I still no retirements. Lebet getting that car going. Looking like it was going to be our first retirement. Ruben Behrings is, well, in an absolute drag race right now. It's Lamborghini versus Corvette. Italy versus the USA. And Lebet's had another issue. We'll come to that shortly. And Behrings, well, has to allow Tilling on through for Tiki. Or does he? Or does he? Right now, that Tiki Simsport Corvette does not want to allow him back past again. It's off the track. It's trying to hold on as as much as he dare might. But there's a bit of traffic coming up behind this little group right now. So we look back from the Corvette. There's Behrings, and you can see that's the 1-2-3 Olympus Pro-Am car that's currently running third right now in LMP2 Pro-Am. Well, that's going to play a little part of this story. Pops out from the, well, driver's right there of the Lamborghini, and then Acklam, who had, well, a brilliant qualifying, but then fell through the field. Trying to, side by side, the Corvette squeeze, and they all get away with it somehow, some way. That was very, very lucky. How do they avoid contact there? Millimeters, cigarette papers away from near annihilation. That's in the background. In the background, big incident. And off and around and pointing in the wrong direction. It's the Mustang. Oh, what a shame. That was a brilliant battle that was brewing, and was it self-inflicted? Got too much. Oh, wow, those sausage curbs. Took too much of the sausage there, and that's what happens for you. And yeah, it's going to show up as when he tried to rejoin and heads off track. Let's have a look at what happened to Lebet. That car looking like it's our first retirement this evening. So that was one of the Pro-Tech cars. I believe that was Moles in the Porsche. And oh, we just carried on going. Parking the car, clearly not feeling like it's, well, worth fighting for. And, well, talking about worth fighting for, this is a massive uphill struggle right now for the Mustang. Massive, massive undertaking to try and recover that situation. Let's have a little look at now. We've had up into GTP, and a bit of a story starting to evolve here involving the 35 Olympus Acura and the 171 Caddy of Pro-Tech. There's now only 3 temps separating them. They're not too far off of the lowest running effect car of Ben Cullen that's currently ring 4th in class, and thus overall at the moment. Sergi, just gap ebbing and flowing, will probably be looking towards having a bit of traffic. They're not too far away from catching up with the tail end of GTD. If you look right down the end of the start-finish straightaway there, you can see the leaders, but yeah, they are not far away from the front end. Is Austin William Campbell. There we go, from passing through GTD or GC3, however you want to call it. Once more. Let's run aboard with Campbell. Big twitch there, big moment. You see the additional downforce where he can just, through 100 just close up that gap. Practically easing him up for breakfast. Got a battle ahead. How are we going to deal with this one? Well, there you go, using all that electrical deployment, trying to get it on down. To get on by. A couple of battling GTDs, but this couple now aren't going to be far off that same group, are they? And it's when they start to catch up on those white dots you can see on the track map in the top right-hand corner. That is LMP2, and the red dots as well that are Pro-Am cars. We're going to see just how much of this is close. That Cadillac really, really getting up close and personal with the back end of the... that was, yeah, the UKSR Ferrari, wasn't it? The 46 of James Conley. Oh, that's having a bit of a moment there. No, no. Okay, the class display of who's leading which class does not clearly like me. And this is a real key moment here for Sedgley in that Olympus Acura. Needs to find a way, and the Caddy way more aggressive there, but just shut down on the exit by the Peak Sim Racing Porsche of Casper Tunstead. And Sedgley not able to make any gains there. It's Sherwood who's opened up the gap. He's opened up about 0.3 of a second more. There's battles happening on here. The two Team Potato cars, one of them pulling right across the right very early on. That's going to be for a slowdown, surely. And that is, well, side by side. Connolly boxed in here. Down the start finish straight away. He pulls out. He finds the gap. Can he get it done? Down into turn one, onto the brakes. He has a look. And it's Anstis in its 96 Corvette. Just gets a bit nervous, a bit twitchy. And Connolly says, thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that. And heads on by. And clears both the Team Potato cars. Next up is McGurk, but he's 3 seconds up the road. I'm talking of 3 seconds up the road. This is definitely not 3 seconds covering these 3 cars. Olympus being trailed by the 2 privateers of Acklam and Williams. Williams a pro driver, but really struggling here today. Down 5th in category and 17th overall. In comparison to Simner, who's running 4th in category and, well, 12th overall. Some whopping, what, 9-10 seconds up the road as well. No, still doesn't like me. Still does not like me. You see right now, this is what it looks like in Pro-Am. And this is a real crucial battle here because Willoughby and Barker have pretty much checked out, but this battle for third is really starting to intensify because Acklam is hot on the hills. Only 2 temps separating them right now, and well, as we head down the start-finish straight away, it's surely just going to diminish, and surely this is going to allow Acklam to head on by. Williams desperate to try to capitalise and get ahead of them. We've had something happen to our fourth place driver in GT3, but having to do it the hard way right round the outside is Acklam, but he can't get it done. Williams says thank you, leave the door open for me, I'll take that opportunity. Privateers side by side as they head down towards Coca-Cola, hold tight, squeeze in, they just about interlock with one another, but it's Craven and that Olympus LMP2 that scampers away, leaves them to fight. And well, doubles the gap that he had to Acklam not too long ago. The standings in each of the major class sets. We distinguish the subcategories of what they're looking like. To reinforce this largely, Williams. Oh, hello. That is a UKSR Ferrari pointing the wrong way. How was that handed up there? Which one is that? That's Alistair Murray, who's had a bit of a moment. Let's take a little check-in of what happened to that one. Oh, and it was tagged. Got tagged in traffic, and I think that was Simner of DCW. McGregor's also had his own issue as well. As he lost it all by himself. On the... Right, that was... Oh, he did. Just trying to get past that Tiki Simsport Corvette and get him done. Martin Tilling. He was running 4th in GT3. And well, if you chuck it in with that much speed, you're going to lose the rear. And off he goes. Once more. Ruben Bearings has also had a bit of an... It says it's come off track. I'm guessing this is only a minor one because, well, riding the grass there, saving the groundskeepers a little bit of effort as that cut in. Also, Williams into pit road as well. 24 minutes complete out of the race so far. As Hugendorn is coming under a lot of pressure right now from Simner. In LMP2, this is your battle for third in category. Huggendorn just covering off that inside. Simner going to have the hard work to do. Needs to come past on the outside, but he'll get the drive off the corner if he can just get alongside. Backs off, looking to open up the corner to slot up the inside of the Effect LMP2, but can't get the drive off the corner, oddly. Well, that was surprising. I thought that was going to be signed, sealed, delivered. You may as well have been a postman because he licked it, stuck a stamp on it, and absolutely sent it, but with no effect whatsoever against the Effect car. Campbell still leads overall from Koopmans in, Koopmans leading LMP2. Pro-Am overall, Craven currently the lead car. That's due to pit stops that are happening in Pro-Am. This is one of the cars, well, a couple of cars just heading out there. Acklam, much shorter stop than Willoughby. 7 seconds, in fact, the difference. Jack Barker also stopping. He had a lengthy stop. Well, I say a lengthy spot, much more similar to Willoughby. But was actually stopped for 2 seconds actually longer, despite having a very similar pit transition time. So we haven't seen all race long. Is this guy, Fatiki Simsport, your leader in GT3? It is Ryan Davis in the 85 Porsche. 2.7 seconds gap over Andy Jones. And it's Daly in the GT3 Pro-Am. It's Ruben Barings leading the way there. That spin from the Mustang of Anstey. Really, well, could be another, I think, championship defining moment. And this could be a real big opportunity right now for Bearings. Try and help put him in the best possible place coming into the end of the season. Craven heading down pit road as well. In fact, it's heading out. Likewise, it's one of the Corvettes. That was Matt Edmondson of Effect just heading out down the front end. As there comes Barker coming out, well, just behind. Guess who? Actually, Craven's got... So Acklam has got the big jump on this lot. Craven's someone who seems to have lost out from being by himself. But, well, yes and no, because actually he was still just in front of Williams like he was previously, but now it's Jack Barker who's slotted himself out. So it's actually Barker who's lost time. Pollock leads Pro-Am at the moment, but that is a little bit of false reasoning. He is yet to stop. Likewise in LMP2 Pro, Koopmans, Bamber and Simner all yet to stop. Traffic playing a part of it. Simner has a little look at Barker there. The 163 just managing to hold off for the moment. But again, Craven, just that master of the traffic, just able to cut his way through. Pollock in from the lead of LMP2 Pro-Am. Real shuffle things around again. Is that Cy? No, apologies, that wasn't Cy Anthony. That must have been McGregor. Yes, it was. Who was... Actually, no, Ryan Moles as well. Two Pro-Tech cars on their way through this LMP2 traffic at the moment. In fact, let's ride on board so we see just how difficult it is for them. Yes, they've got the electrical deployment, but very similar chassis. Very similar cornering speed, and it's been one of the big features since this new class has come along. Of course, replacing DPI and LMP1, a much more cost-effective option for the manufacturers. A much more of a challenge now for the drivers. to get on by this, well, slower in inverted commas, traffic in LMP2. I remember when in WEC at Spa, when we first had the LMHs come out, coming out of La Source at the start, the LMP2 is actually getting off the corner better and initially starting to out-drag the LMHs. That was the difference that we were experiencing. It was a unique sight to behold. As an absolute LMP2 lover, I was loving it. It was fantastic to see. It was just so crazy. But, of course, things have progressed a little since then. And McGurk closing in on the back of the Effects Corvette. The DCW Corvette heading on by surely into turn 1, pulls the driver's right, and surely this is going to be a standard move down into turn 1, although McGurk looks like he's pulling out a little bit, not looking so confident. That Effects Corvette looking much more set up for the straight line, although look at the driver, he's got off the corner. Edmondson showcasing his GT3 skills, of course the reigning GT3 AM champion last season. Last iRacing season, that is, that we saw, of course, here on the channel. Well, the absolute honour of presenting that one and bringing you the action on that. As change around for second. That's Daniels who's just gone on by, and the Jones of DCW. And in fact, we're going to have a little look back of exactly how this all played out down into turn 1. And there you go. Porsche versus Porsche, and Daniel's able to get the much better drive off the corner, unlike McGurk that we just saw a little bit earlier on. And with that GTP, the Effect GTP just getting in amongst them, that's just going to allow them on by there. Well, that's going to really help Daniels to pull out that gap and move along now and try and extend it as well. Just get out the draft range of Jones. Koopman's in from the lead of LMP2 Pro right now. Bamber's carried on by. Now, Bamber is real. That's all. McGregor's had another issue. Let's have a look what's happened to the Porsche ProTech. It's the 37. And, well, a bit too much of a commitment down there. And, well, slides it off the track wisely. That was... I'm trying to have a little look. That was the Olympus LMP2 getting on by. Talking of LMP2, Jack Barker's in a bit of trouble here right now. Oh, splitting the Team Potato Corvette. And, well, eventually, after knocking on the door so many times, Williams finding his way by, but down the start-finish straight away. Could be vulnerable here. We'll pull in and we'll get that distant tow, though, from the Olympus LMP2. Barker tags in once again behind him. I don't think there's going to be progress made here down into turn 1 by a big old lunge, and it's not coming. Not cementing that move. Bamber now into the pit road, and the first of our GTP cars into the pits. That is the Effect 16 of Ben Cullen. Talking of Effect, 1 in, 1 out when it comes to pit stops. Our leader in LMP2, Simon Bamber, taking on some tyres. Well, there you go. There's another 1 in as well. Tell you what, if it was hunting seasons for Effect prototypes in the pit lane, well, you'd have your choice of options right now. Your leader in GTP even. I'm hearing. Oh, it's the Pollock has had a bit of an issue. Let's take a little look what's happened here for the LMP2 Pro driver, well, had to try and get it stopped. Oh, and in the end ends up in trying to avoid the car that his fellow DCW driver was trying to take on. Ends up catching up with his own teammates. It was Carl McGurrick there who losing out, I believe. Oh no, would it have been? No, I think that would have been Andy Jones, wouldn't it? Oh dear. I mean, you'd never hit your teammate. They didn't hit their teammate, so there was that at least to take on board, but still not good. Nearly coming to blows. And talking about coming to blows, Tilling, who is running fourth in GT3 Pro-Am, but well down through the order, is right now just trying to find his way past. So I'm trying to defend off, sorry. That 777 old dudes in cars, Porsche. But having a bit of a look, just slowing up the GTP. Talking to GTP. Wilson into the pits from second place. Thompson, hammer sign for him now. A real master of the fuel efficiency, getting great mileage out of this car. Looking to do the same again today. So Tilling has in fact stopped, so that's why he is so far down. Two Team Potato Corvette seem to have been pretty much glued together this entire race of Anstis and Windsor, and they've remained in that order. Trying to take on the world together, but they've got the wrong stuff Corvette behind them, the 812 of Windsor. Sorry, the 62 even of Davis. Apologies, he's going to surely... Oh, that could end in... I thought that was going to end up a little bit... Well, nasty for one moment. So we look down from the drone. Side by side, heading down towards turn one. And well, lifting out there is Windsor and just allowing Davis in the wrong stuff Corvette on by. And well, heading off up the road now. Oh, this is getting close yet again. But it is Williams who's got the move done, or has it? Craven fighting hard, fighting for his life, it seems, right now. But Williams, who's been sat behind Craven for lap after lap. Well, first off with Acklam, now with Barker, but finally getting it done. Only taking him nearly 38 minutes. Getting helped out by the UKSR Lamborghini there. A bit of additional straight line speed from them. Across the start-finish line. Barker looking to... Well, he's going to be a little bit compromised on corner entry compared to the rest of them. Swings that wide out of turn one. They head on through. Coca-Cola and into 100R. Still pushing each other along. And in fact, Davis, not content with passing one Team Potato Corvette, is now looking for another one. Another lap in. Won't get it done this time into turn one, though. Will Davis making progress. Coming alive on light field is that wrong stuff Corvette. Might just have to bide his time a little longer, but he is bringing along Windsor and that sister Team Potato car. It is Anstis in the 96 that is in front of the 62 wrong stuff. Oh, that is a very running ride. No, it's not Ryan Moles. It must be... There it is. It's Cy Anthony in one of the Porsches. Couldn't quite work out who it was. And that was running very wide indeed. So we've got more pit stops happening down in GT3. Daniel's in from second. Also, your leader in Pro-Am as well is in. Ruben Bearings heads down. Well, he's already in his box, in fact, and they're pretty much heading out almost. This is still carrying on, really, isn't it? These three will not leave each other alone. Have got a GTP involved with them there as well. And a GT3 to boot as well. That is one of the DCW Porsches. That'll be Jones, who's just, well, trying to mind his own business. Meanwhile, well, certainly Craven and Barker saying, well, we're still trying to have a race here. Don't mind us as we head on through, head on by. And you get the feeling that Craven could be absolutely fed up and sick to his back teeth at looking in his mirrors at the sight of one car or another this entire race. Gets a bit of assistance there from your leader in the Tiki SimSport Porsche and GT3. That is Ryan Davis in the 85. As meanwhile, Alistair Murray's had a bit of an incident. Let's headed to the pits as well. It's sounding like a big shunt, potentially. This all by himself, or is it? Oh, right in front of your leader, Thompson, taking evasive action there. Let's we'll see if we can bring that from a different angle for you. Let's see if we can get it from Thompson's perspective inside this Apex Racing Academy Acura. Oh, well, many poos shot out of his bum then, clearly. But the Dane, well, stereotypically Scandinavian there in his response, unfazed. Talking about unfazed, it's more GT3 traffic getting involved in this battle. This time it's the Mustang. We see quite a bit of a car this race. Pollock not looking like he's... No, he says into the pits for the second time as the DCW car. Let's have a little run through proceedings right now. Still waiting on a few pit stops. Won't affect things too much. There's your leader, Patrick Thompson, who leads as we heading towards the last quarter of this race. He's yet to stop. Neither, also yet to stop. Well, it's not. Neither stops. However you want to word it. Second place in the Cadillac for ProTech. It's Sam Sherwood. And then we've got the Olympus car, not too far behind, only 5 seconds down the road to top three in GTP. Down into LMP2 right now, and there, well, getting ever so closer. Bunching up in the field, some of them. Is in fact, as all, we've got a bit of a move happening here. Moles and Campbell, oh, squeezing their way on by here. Down the start-finish straight as we look at the drone, trying to get the side draft off these Team Potato Corvettes. Being left room kindly, though, by Campbell. And that affect Acura. Down into turn one we go, and it's move done in, well, a great style there from Campbell. And also off camera, I tell you what, we've had a change for P2 because that is Sedgley, or Sherwood's lost. He's lost a fair old chunk of time. I can't see where. It's yet to stop. Could be traffic playing a part of things here. Yeah, LMP2. Let's carry on with this part of the narrative. Yeah, leading the way there, Emil Koopmans. He has stopped. Likewise, as well as second place DCW Racing driver Richard Simner. Third in Pro. Oh, caught up in the field there. It's Danny Hugendorn of Effect Simulations Club Sport. You can see, in fact, just behind him as well is fourth place in LMP2, but leader in Pro-Am is Nathan Willoughby, making us way on by there. But he's only got a 2.5 second advantage over second place runner. And, well, he had an incredibly short stop. It's James Acklam. Remember, he had a great qualifying and it all fell apart for him at the race start. It's been an uphill climb, but he's really helped himself with that short stop. Has he left it too short? I do wonder. It's the two Team Paseo Corvettes. Well, they've been synchronized all race long and they pit together as well. Running third at the moment, there he is for Olympus Esports. It's Connor Craven getting the job done at the moment, but does have Jack Barker. You can see the privateer just behind him. Oh, and also looking to make his one on by. Down into GT3 now. We should have done this really. There is Ryan Davis, a Tiki Simspot. He is yet to stop, but adjusting for pit stops will remain in the lead, and likewise will remain in second despite his pit stop. We're just coming in to take is Andy Jones of DCW. Third is Kevin Daniels. Now he has stopped, has potentially got a little bit of a chance here to reclaim second after he did pit from second. So we'll stick with this just shortly around this store part of it. Meanwhile, yet to stop, there he is in GT3 Pro-Am, the UKSR Ferrari of James Connolly. Like peeling off like he is going to pit as well now, which means that taking back in the lead will be this guy, Ruben Bearings. Will reclaim his lead, and you might have just made him out in the background there. It's the UKSR Lamborghini that's caught up in a bit of prototype traffic there. Val Lever will move up in second. Conley will drop down into third. But Lever does have Sharples right behind him. In fact, Sharples will come on through up into third. Conley going to drop down to fourth in category. But Sharples, you've got to ask, well, he's been quick all race long. What is he waiting for? Why not get the move done? Get on with it. Give yourself plenty of time. And then doesn't want to get caught up behind that track. In fact, Conley is going to come out. Well, actually, well down. He's going to come out. Well, sorry, these two just passed on by. The Tiki Simsport Ferrari and the Effect Simulations Corvette of Robson and Emerson, respectively. Meanwhile, our leader is now in GT3. One of the last few cars to stop, in fact. Craven and Barker still stuck together, these two. Craven cannot shake whoever's behind him. Was Acklam. It's now Barker. Oh, Martin Tillings had a bit of an incident for that Tiki Simsport Corvette. Again, let's... I mean, it looked like he was running out of fuel. Oh no, something's happened to Barker. Something has happened to Barker. Oh, and it's the half spin, and that is exactly what Craven has been praying for. Finally, some breathing space, and it's a 5-second gap. All of his Christmases have come out once for the 1-2-3 Olympus. And talking of gaps and shrinking gaps, certainly, this is the ProTech Porsche being caught by the Effect Carbon Acura. Worth a bit of a mention, or the flash of the lights there from the ProTech Porsche, and squeezes that DCW Porsche off wide and offline. That will be Andy Jones in the 441, won't it? Yes, it is. My eyes do not deceive me. So, yeah, McGregor in that ProTech Porsche is yet to stop, whereas Cullen behind in the Effect the Effect Carbon Acura has stopped. So, well, Cullen, I'm sure, will apply some pressure, undoubtedly, but doesn't need to worry too much. Although these Porsches running great mileage today, really strong mileage. As we approach 10 minutes to go as well. Well, how has it been? 50 minutes already. Closing up. Conley, talking of closing up. Oh, shaping up for a bit of a move there. And that UKSR Ferrari against the Effect Corvette in front of them. This all over 5th in GC3 Pro-Am. A battle starting to come together. Our top 3 in Pro, incidentally, pretty much cemented, but disaster for any one of our drivers that in those categories. What's it going to be? Got the Olympus GCP sliding on by. That's Dan Sedgley in the 35 Acura. And this has surely got to be the move done. Surely up the inside, but all day long. That Corvette has looked great on the outside with the traction that it's got, but finally it fails it. Has a bit of a look, Edmondson, once again. Dips back in, thinks twice about it. Conley's on through. Up into 5th for that UKSR Ferrari, but they have got the Tiki Simsport Corvette not far behind. That's Martin Tilling. Now that car, the 04, has had a real treacherous afternoon. Could have been on the podium, but due to issues has fallen down, and well, in fact now is some 40 odd seconds behind by my calculations. Our leader, Ryan Davis. Yeah, and the fellow at, well, the Tiki Simsport Porsche. Eight minutes to go here from Fuji. And still, only the one retirement so far. Looks Damien Lebet, who we lost all the way back on lap 9, lap 37 at the moment. From round 5 of the championship. Now it's starting to become a little bit tight for the lead in Pro-Am. Bearings, Leather and Sharples, all very, very close to one another now. Now, Sharples did have a really long stop comparison to everyone else. He was stationary for 21 seconds, according to my timing log, whereas it was 13 seconds apiece for both the DCW and UKSR Lamborghinis. And with 7 minutes left to play here, this could come a bit fraught. Surely Bearing's in the driving seat here, controlling this situation. He knows full well that if Sharples wants to make a move on Leather, that's going to open up the gap. And I'd be wondering whether Sharples going to just allow Leather to close in on the fellow Ferrari Lamborghini, or is he going to go on the attack, which will open up that gap? So Sedgley's currently running second overall at the moment, just sliding on by there in the Olympus GTP, and that's going to slow up Bearings. This could be the moment here where it just allows the other Lamborghini of Leather just to close up. Half a second the gap, but once again Bearings just opening up once more. On by goes another GTP. There's no traffic behind them for a bit. We head through 300 and then down into Dunlop, hard onto the brakes, flinging it on right. Look at the curve that DCW Lamborghini's taking. The Benelux driver is really not messing around, but neither is that old dudes in cars Porsche right now. The 777 piloted by Sharples. is applying the pressure to Lever, saying, look, you got to close this gap up, mate. We're running out of time. There's only 5 minutes left on the clock. We need to close it up. You need to do something. You need to drag me along so we can make it a 2 versus 1. And look at this, Bearings, you can see he's under pressure. He's trying to break the toe down the start finish straight, weaving around, but here we go. Can this be the move from the 777? It looks, it dips back in. It has another half look here, down into turn 1. And just holding up that Effect Club Sports car. That's, I think it's that Danny, no, it's not Danny Hugendorn. That must be our leader, yes it is, in LMP2. Emil Koopman's trying to find his way by right now. There is that trio of GT3s. Still trying to find their way past one another. And in fact, Bearings just losing a bit of time there to Lever. Dropping a couple of temps. And this GCP traffic is really playing part of the story right now. Bearings runs wide. He had the pick there. Lever covers off the Effect. Acura say, no, don't come past. Don't ruin my opportunity. And it's the flash of the lights there. He allows him to slide on by. He might have been better off letting him by. He would have gone into attack essentially into the pits with only 4 minutes to go. Thompson could, well, can someone go the full race distance in GTP? Moles and Thompson and McGregor all yet to pit so far. And with that GTP traffic, the gap triples to 1.2 second between the UKSR Lamborghini and the DCW Lambo. So now, what do you do, Sharples? The 777 has a look to the inside. 3 minutes left on the clock. Running deep into overtime here. We've got round about, what, another 2 laps remaining. That's going to be it. Where's our leader? So he's just coming across the start-finish line now. I think these boys might have 3 laps remaining. It's hard to say. Effect cars. Oh, hello. So essentially has come out of the pits after pitting late on. And he's come into a right dogfight with Ben Cullen. He's side by side with him. No one giving an inch. They almost touch wheels through 100R. Onto the brakes. They come down into the hairpin. Sedgley just ahead. Doesn't shut the door in the face of the twitching Cullen there, who tries to get the drive off the corner. Can't get the power down. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, folks, I can tell you that that gap is closing down in GT3. They've taken a bit more time out of Bearings. As I say that, they then lose it. What is that Porsche? The old dudes in cars, Porsche, gonna do. It's got a good drive off the corner, but you want it to run wide there. You want to get it done down the start-finish straight, but he's tucked up right behind him. Here we go. Defensive to the inside. Goes Lever in that UKSR Lambo practically being pushed right now by the Porsche. You can hear the gravel being kicked up. They're that tight across the wall. They move around down the start-finish straight. Down into turn 1 we go. Onto the brakes. Who's got it? That's Simner in the DCW. LMP2 trying to go on by. Be squeezed out onto the grass a bit there. That's going to help that Lambo of the UKSR Lambo just to ease out, just to maintain that, and it does for now, but it's still 3 tenths. Bearing, meanwhile, opens up another 3 tenths of a second. And also, this one's getting close to the battle for second. Where are they? Well, I can tell you that they've got another whole lap left to go based on where our leader is. Acklam's had an incident after passing Barker. It's all kicking off here in the dying minutes. We'll look at that after the race. But Sharples is now right onto the back. Does he realise he's going to have another lap here? Or is he? He's not too sure. He goes defensive. There's 2 GTPs, 2 LMP2s, both effect cars, getting involved in this one. He doesn't want it. He wants them. He tries to shoulder them out wide, but he can't quite squeeze them. enough. He needs them now to get alongside Leather. He needs to use them as the pick. He needs to follow them through to find something, some way, somehow past this fellow GT3 driver, and he is not going to do it like that. The hour is up, but they're going to have another lap. 1 lap left to go here in GT3. Meanwhile, our leader, well, he's going to come across the line, having not stopped at all to surely take the checkered flag. With a weave across the line, Patrick Thompson takes victory. Congratulations to him. Meanwhile, I know it's all you want to know about what is happening between these two. Well, the gaps open up even more. There's been more incidents in LMP2. We'll come to that afterwards. Also, this is closing up as well. They've got half a lap left remaining. The battle for second. It's DCW versus DDK. Porsche on Porsche action here, and well, it's getting tight. It's getting feisty. Daniels looks. He jinks and moves around, but it's Jones who's on the grass. He's not going to get the drive off the corner. He'll survive it, though, somehow, some way. But they've only got a matter of corners left. It's going to be about that run to the line. Who's going to get the drive off the corner? Will it be Jones? Will it be Daniels? Here we go, folks. Buckle up, and that could be the move there. It's always pick out the wrong camera angle, just the wrong moment, and it's a drag race, but Jones gets the drive off the corner, and surely Daniels has got no way of fighting back, and I think Jones knows it. Well, holds on there as he weaves around to break the toe. Right, let's move down. What is happening? They've only got a couple of corners left to go, but I think it's going to finish here. That Sharples, he'll not find a way past. He huffed and he puffed, and he could not blow the house down of that UKSR Lamborghini. With a flash of the lights across the line comes out 11 to secure second place in GT3 Pro-Am. Whoa, what a race, what a finish. And while this is all going on, we had incidents aplenty. There's donuts going on down at turn 1. That's how you do it. That is the one of the DCW Ferraris. One of the Ferraris anyway, I believe. There you go. There you go, it's Carl McGurk who's intent in either popping those tyres or blowing up his engine, one way or the other. Wow, there you go, folks. What can we say? What can we say? Let's enjoy some of this. I'll tell you what, that's probably a great way to... What a backdrop, what an image to take in some results. So let's go overall. Patrick Thompson wins, having not stopped the entirety of the race. That's why he went over 34 seconds over. So I'll tell you what, let's drop this down. They try and sort themselves out. I mean, this it's looked like it was going to be all classy and cinematic, but yet again, it fails me. Oh, there's feeble attempts going on. There was an attempt made. Anyhow, right, more pressing matters. Yeah, Austin William Campbell, after being on pole, looking oh so dominant. In the end, only good enough for second. That's the fuel strat of Thompson of Apex Racing Academy, although it does make it a double podium for effect, with Wilson joining him on the podium. Ron Moles, Protec's highest finish, certainly Porsche's highest finish this season, coming home in 4th, with Cullen 5th, Sedgley 6th. That late stopper late on did hamper him. We have got some highlights of incidents which Sedgley was caught up in, and so was Cullen, which might be part of that result. McGregor 7th and Sight Anthony in 8th. Your winner in LMP2, that is Emil Koopmans, congratulations to him. Richard Simner, second place. He's going to be chuffed to bits with that one, having had a bit of a torturous qualifying and not what he would have hoped for. He'll be happy with second. Hugendorn dropping to third. Not what he would have hoped for. Willoughby again, dominant in Pro-Am, securing that, finishing on winner out there. John Williams, having started at the back, well, got caught up a lot of the time, and if he hadn't have had a better qualifying, I think he could have been up there as well. Conor Craven holding on to that second place for Olympus in Pro-Am, with Jack Barker finishing third. James Acklam dropping the fourth in Pro-Am with Bamber, another one. A disaster. Well, it could have taken, as Hiccup's kicking in now, could have taken the victory, or at least been on the podium, but in the end, fourth in his subcategory, and well done in LP2. Pollock for DCW, well off the pace as well. He finishes 18th overall, and there we go. That's what we want. Into to GT3 now. Brad Davis takes the win for Tiki Simsport and Porsche. In fact, in GT3 Pro, an all-Porsche podium with Andy Jones just nipping Kevin Daniels of DDK to that second place. A run to the line in the end, and Jones, well, thoroughly deserved there. Ruben Berish continues his winning ways and will extend his lead at the top of the GT3 Pro-Am Championship, having won GT3 Pro-Am today. Leather, well, Sharples just didn't seem to have an answer into the Porsche, and Leather finishing second means a 1-2 for Lamborghini here today. Next up were, well, a pair of Ferraris. In fact, our top Ferrari finishers were Tiki Simsports' Dave Robson and James Conley of UK SR. Matt Edmondson for Effect in the Corvette, your top Corvette finisher. And in fact, a pair from of Corvettes from as well, with Tilling finishing just behind. Carl McGurk, sorry, Casper Tunstead, 29th. Carl McGurk running at your top 30. Sean Cranley Swash Vanstein in that Mustang. The story of what could have been, really. That spin coming out of Panasonic, well, that ruined his day. So managed to pick up some positions, finished ahead of Anstis, Davis and Windsor. Then we're into retirements now. Sherwood, after running really high, not too sure what happened to the Protec Cadillac, apologies, retired. Also, the UKSR Ferrari of Murray, and we lost on lap 29. And lap 9 for Damien Labette. Right. Let's take a little look at some replays from the end of exactly what happened. I'm going to make sure let's get the, yeah, there we go. That'll do nicely. Let's take to the chopper. So James Acklam in front. Right, he span, and that's why Jack Barker was able to get on by. It wasn't contact. It was an unforced error from Acklam, which prevented him from finishing on the podium, because he was in between, well, Barker and Craven, wasn't he? So that could have been a freeway finish. Bit gutting there. And the final lap. So Ben Cullen has had an incident with Sedgley, so dragging it out down the start-finish straight. Cullen on the left, Sedgley on the right. Do they come to blow into... Oh, wow. Shifting down and just snapped on Sedgley. And Cullen said, well, thank you very much. That's a lot of my hard work undone there. Meanwhile, Acklam had a further incident as well on the final lap. Clearly, tyres running a bit hot. High track temperatures here today. Just caught out by the Peak Sim Racing Porsche of Casper Tunstead. Late on. Then let's have another look back to this epic finish we had. The lunge there. Oh, and they almost made contact. Didn't quite see that from the original live camera angle. But Daniels had to do something. He had to be brave. Was it a missed opportunity? Should he have done it sooner? I don't know. But not a bad finish all round. Not a bad finish indeed. Well, what we're going to do then is let's look at some scenic pictures, and we will now have a bit of a chat to some of our drivers. I'll tell you what, I'm at hot day. Your PC running absolute overtime because of all trying to churn out all of this to you, and it's a little bit warm in here. A little bit warm. I don't look the prettiest anyway. We all know this anyway. But let's have a chat to some of our drivers, as we mentioned. Right, next up. Right, who are we going to pick out? Let's get some stuff prepped. First off, I think we're going to... Okay, right. Let's go that. Let's get things ready for you. First up, we're going to be speaking to our race winner, I think so, because I'm intrigued. How did he manage that fuel strat? That is one of the killer questions I think we've all got, because, I mean, I don't know about you, but it was something to behold. We'll move things around. There we go. Hey, Patrick Thompson now joins us. Patrick, congratulations. I mean, it kept me surprised. I thought, no, he's got to stop at some point. He's got to stop, and somehow you didn't. I mean, is that something you've been practicing and had just like prior knowledge of? Oh, hold on. There we go. There we go. I hadn't got you. It's all right. I got it to the stage of that I could hear you, but no one home could hear you. So there we go.
Okay, well, let's try again.
Yeah. So there we go. Right. Yeah. I mean, something you must have had prior knowledge of, or was it a case of just try fuel saving? Let's see where it takes us.
Well, I knew, because I didn't have much time for practicing coming into this round. I knew that like my race pace as such, if I were to push, I wouldn't be comfortable just fully pushing for the entire race. So I already decided from the very beginning, and with the previous knowledge from the other rounds that we've done in this league so far, knowing that the 1 hour races, you can just more or less stretch the fuel, especially depending on the track. I was a bit worried with this humongous straight that it might not be possible to fuel save enough, but it seemed like a good old lift and coast into T1 did the job for me. So yeah, no, it was not too much practice prior, but of course I had some of the knowledge from the previous rounds.
And at what point did you realise that this strategy is going to work out? Because it must have got to a stage where you thought, oh, and you know, having seen, okay, if my pace isn't strong enough here, then I'm going to lose a lot more places than if I'd just gone full throttle from the very off.
Yeah, I mean, again, I sort of committed to this from the very beginning, because I felt like if I just went for pushing all the way through, I would probably just end up doing a silly mistake and either going in the wall or at least spinning around, and then that would probably cost me the same, if not more, than just, eventually figuring out that I couldn't make it work and having to do a pit stop. So I decided to go for it, and I figured around, like, I guess halfway through the race, I saw that I had gotten the fuel target on point, and I just kept, every time traffic hit, I took it even more careful, because I saw once Austin had done his pit stop, I saw I had quite a massive gap to work with. So for me, there was no point really doing any too risky moves on lap traffic. It was more worth for me to maybe lose half a second, but also, take the added bonus of saving some more fuel. So yeah.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. Well, it's absolutely perfect. You went here today, Patrick Thompson for Apex Racing Academy. Let's move on down. Let's move down a category. Next up, we're going to speak to, well, not your winner, but in fact your second place finisher here today in Alan P2. Richard Simner joins us now for DCW. Congratulations. I mean, qualifying Was it about what you thought would happen, or I mean, it seemed like it was wasn't quite to your normal high standards.
I guess it's just what happens when you don't do any practice beforehand.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, no, I just haven't had time to sit in the rig and put the hours in, and yeah, just lots of sort of work things getting in the way. But yeah, do you know, it was all right. I kind of expected I'd probably just follow what I could and make my way through the traffic as best as I could, and yeah, it presented opportunities, and yeah, it was a good fun race, to be honest. And Hugendorn and I was just talking to Nathan in the waiting room, and you know, we all had a good little close battle all the way through. So yeah, it's good, really good fun. GT3s were always on the apexes that I wanted to take, so you know, it was a little bit frustrating at times, but that's what that's what multi-class racing is about. So
Well, yeah, we
yeah,
definitely saw that through certainly the second half of the circuit, definitely the last third, where it seemed to be, it was almost a case of you were damned if you went one way and you're damned if you went the other way. There was no, as much as they're trying to stick on the racing line where you have to switch back so much. It felt like almost at times it was impossible to pass them, where they've just got that bit of extra oomph and better grip of getting away in low traction, you know, in out of low speed corners compared to the LMP2s. Like, just talk us through sort of like your best way of trying to deal with that situation.
I mean, the short answer is full send, but
Fair enough.
Can't
argue.
Proper answer. I mean, the proper answer is, you know, really with multi-class, you really got to be wary, especially when you're the slower class car. And I normally drive GT cars, so I know what it's like. It's just picking the lane and being very careful. There was one incident where we're going around the fast right-hander and the GT3 car sort of drifts out wide. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take the inside line. And then they slow themselves down and cut straight back in front of me. It's like, whoa, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't. If you want an accident, that's fine, but don't change lane when you've chosen one. It's be predictable, you know. It's that sort of thing. But I mean, I wasn't perfect today either. I mean, I think I clipped a GT3 coming around the sharp left after that corner, which spun them round. Hopefully, didn't do too much to that race. But yeah, it was really difficult actually, because normally with a field of about 30 and it's split sort of evenly across the three classes, you kind of expect gaps to form between between each of the cars in a particular class. But the GTs were absolutely, they must have had an absolutely barnstorming race, because yeah, every time I came up to them there was packs of 3, packs of 5, you know, and you were really having to sort of shove yourself in between them just to try and give yourself a bit of breathing room from the car behind. And then of course the other issue is you then put yourself down the inside, the other guy then just follows and they get it better because they've got a clean apex. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts.
Definitely, yes, yeah, they did. GC3 had an absolute cracking race to say, and well, I mean, you know, even though you say you slot yourself in between them, but it must have been frustrating, because normally that sort of splits them up a bit when it comes to multi-class racing, but they all then seem to compress back up together, so it must have been frustrating when you came back around to lapping them again to find that, oh great, they're all in one big gaggle again once more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yes,
Yeah,
but equally, equally, it's what you've got to expect. And you know, I've raced in a lot bigger fields than this, so yeah, you get used to it after a while, and you sort of, it's a bit of a game of chess. You know, you've got to be a bit tactical about it. And also with that last sector, I think the ones that were probably quite successful at keeping up were the ones that were very good with their throttle control as well, and not letting the back slide too much.
Yeah.
That's certainly when I was following Hugendorn. He was sliding a lot in the first half of the race, in that final sector, so I knew he was overcooking his tyres a little bit. So that meant I could keep up, but I think all the effect cars had trimmed out a bit of wing, and I think I'd sat literally right on him. I could have bump drafted him, except I couldn't, because I couldn't actually keep up, even though I was like half an inch away. You know, it was quite frustrating, and he's just pulling away. But I was good on the brakes, good on my turn in. So yeah, it again, like I say, it presented opportunities.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. Second place here today from Fuji, Richard Simner for DCW.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Right, let's have a move down through. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can move him up. Lovely stuff. Your race winner at LMP2 Pro-Am. Nathan, well, again, Nathan Willoughby. Congratulations. Becoming a little bit of a habit, this one, isn't it, this season?
A little bit, yeah. Cheers, Tim.
I mean, having said that, today, James Acklam looked like he was on absolute fire. I mean, okay, I know, you never like to see someone have a bit of an incident, at the start, but, I mean, it must have been a bit of a weight off your shoulders on, one sort of milestone checked off on the route to trying to secure a victory here today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you went into turn one probably a little hot there and was just able to get on the inside there. So, yeah, that was quite fortunate, really. And I think after I took the pit stop, we came out side by side. So he kept me honest all race. So, yeah, great pace from him. So I think, yeah.
And, yeah, again, we saw you taking it to the pro drivers. When you come up to behind them, how much are you trying to push them versus how much, are you trying to sort of almost conserve yourself a bit, thinking, okay, I'm in my lead of my subcategory. Is it a case of you trying to race them and get past them, or is it a case of just stick with them and use them as a battering ram to try and clear through traffic to help try and increase your lead almost?
Yeah, to be honest, I just try to stick with them. There's no point trying to fight them because they're going to want to try and progress their own race. So it's just easier to use them to punch holes through traffic and just follow through. So it makes that process a little easier. It's a different story if they're behind though. I'm not going to just jump out of the way for them.
Yes,
especially if my teammates are ahead. I'm going to make it a little tricky for them.
Yeah,
nothing
definitely.
too dangerous, but we're racing after all. So.
Exactly. Well, congratulations on another victory. I won't tempt fate of saying I'll see you in a week's time, but no, good luck for the next round.
Cheers, thank you.
No worries. Right, let's have a little head down into GT3. Next up, there you go. Give us a little bit of clue who we're going to be. Oh, yep. Let's. No, we don't want to do that. Someone drops out. Lovely stuff. Ruben Bearings of DCW joins us now. Ruben, congratulations. I mean, this week it must have been. It was really, really tight. You had both Alan Lever and Darren Sharples really close behind you into those closing stages. How much of tactics were you trying to play into this one of backing Alan up into Darren, or was it a case of just try desperately just to open up the gap and just trying to get away from them?
Yeah, thank you, Tim. I was just trying to start to follow the pro drivers and try to get some fuel saving in. And I saw the gap opening up a little bit already. But then when the traffic came around, I got pushed back a little. I saw Darren Sharples coming close to me. He was gaining. And then there was another piece of traffic that pushed him back a bit. So, yeah.
It was, definitely a bit of a relief for you. And also, I mean, sort of similar situation to what we had happening with Nathan Willoughby and Alan P2, whereby you could place this competitor in the championship. Sean Cranley Swash, he was I don't know if you're aware, was involved in an incident of his own, just ended up spinning coming out of Panasonic. Having said that, on the grid, it must have given you at least a bit of comfort to try and extend your lead in the championship, knowing that, okay, he's 6 cars back from me on the grid. It gives me a bit of a buffer.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that he had an incident, so I was like, okay, this is good for the championship, but I still gotta keep my head down and finish this race without incidents.
Definitely, which is easier said than done when it comes to multi-class, isn't it? I think we could all agree on that one. Well, Ruben, congratulations, another win, and good luck for the next round.
Thanks, Dave. See you later.
No worries. Ruben Sharples. So Ruben Sharples, amalgamating drivers' names there. Ruben Bearings of DCW. Well, what a race that was. Let's. What have I got? Which screen do I want? I want this one, don't I? There we go. There we go. Well, what did we learn today here from Fuji? Well, Patrick Thompson, he's pretty good at fuel saving, isn't he? I think we definitely learned that one. I mean, going out without stopping. What can we say? What can we say about that? I mean, absolutely, just dominant, really. Yet again, you're going to have to wonder, with this really getting it, only 3 rounds left of the championship. Can he be beaten? I'm not sure. I mean, if you could pull off another full strat like that, but then the opposition are aware of it as well now. Are they going to fight back and find a way to try and eke at that? Again, having said that, effect domination, once again in the prototypes. Okay, didn't come away with the win in GTP, but a double podium in GTP, double podium in LMP2 Pro, the victory in LMP2, just the victory in LMP2 Pro-Am. So not a bad day at the office, and all helping towards that team championship. As for GT3, well, it was Tiki Simsport yet again. Some things are different each week, but some things never change whatsoever. We definitely learnt that one. And, well, what a finish. Talking of GC3, what a finish in both categories, both Pro and Pro-Am. Both podiums to the wire. It's why we come racing, isn't it, really? It's why we come racing. It's what we love. It's what we know. And we wouldn't have it any other way, would we? Well, for myself, Tim Cox, thank you very much for joining. Thank everyone in the chat, as always. Love you all, as always. And thank you very much. We'll see you in a week's time when we return here at the channel. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.